Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. I'm here with Infinite Comics. I don't even know your name. and
And you can call me Josh.
Hey, Josh, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. You?
Forgive me. I was just sitting down here. Nobody cares about this, but I went to get my car inspected. $700 later, what? Oh my God! So I was like all infuriated about that. Then my wife's like, "Well, good, you could relax now because you have a stream." I'm like, "No, it's midnight." She goes, "No, it's now." I was like, "Oh my God!" So I was all discombobulated. So give me a couple of minutes to phase into YouTube personality guy instead of aggravated guy who just spent $700 on a car inspection that should have been $50.
What was wrong with your car?
Uh, it needed drums, brakes, drums, new windshield wipers, and
Oh,
I
so
live
the
in,
works.
so everything's expensive. Yeah,
Yeah, that's how it is now. Everything.
I know. I used to say every time you went to the mechanic it was $400. It's just $400.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like the new $400 is $700.
And
But
not the truth.
the car is paid for. I'm very good about maintenance, so let's just keep this car going. I'm not a car guy. I literally go and say, "What's the cheapest car you got on the lot?" That's the one I want.
Yeah, I'm the same guy. As long as I can get from A to B.
Right. Unless money's no object, let's be realistic. But like a house is just a place to. Does the roof leak? Are the neighbors going to break in? I'm fine. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The car, does it get me to work and back? I'm fine. But it's what's inside the house. It's what you do with the car that's important to me. But anyway, this has nothing to do with you. Just changing gears. So I'll just say I like this name, One Punch Man Tolkien fan. I gotta watch One Punch Man. Everybody tells me to watch it, but I'm a huge Tolkien fan. I will talk Tolkien. It all those memes are true. Like you turn on the Lord of the Rings, and then like, is there an option to turn off husband's commentary? You see the wife. That's me. I explain everything to my. She's nice about it though. She listens. I think she's actually interested. I'll get a message any second. She's upstairs listening.
Well, I mean, how many times can you tell that he kicked the helmet story, though?
I don't even talk about that. I talk about like,
Oh,
you see that ring that he's wearing? That was made back in Valinor, and it was given. That's Barry here, and then it was carried by Lord Baron and given by Fingal. Fingal. I talk about stuff like that.
you've got the appendices memorized.
Well, I'm on my fourth reread of the Silmarillion. I was just talking about it at work. Oh, my wife messaged. What is she saying? Yeah, she's laughing. I guy at work, he loves fantasy, but he's like, I can't read the Silmarillion. He's like, it's like reading the Bible. I'm like, that's the first part. The first part is the most difficult part. The Eidolindale, the gods forming the earth. That's like reading the book of Genesis. But once you get past that, it's just stories. It's just little. It's so good. It's some of Tolkien's best stories, and I dread what Rings of Power will do. It drives me nuts. There's so many good stories that people don't know, and Amazon has to make up their own stuff. It's like, what are you doing? What? Just make up just throw elves. Like, I've never seen The Witcher, but I'm pretty sure that's not the way The Witcher went.
Yeah, I've got a copy of the Silmarillion sitting on my dresser, and I still haven't opened it after the last time because I was just getting to it, and it is like reading the Bible at that.
Yeah, the first chapter is called the Eidolindale. It's the music of the gods.
Okay.
And they sing Arda, Earth, into existence, and it's a chore, but it's worth the work. And then you'll get to the Atalantia, the story of the destruction of Numenor. That is just like, that's Greek mythology, and then you get to the actual Silmarillion, which is the stories of the Cimmerals, and that's just epic stories.
I've heard it's great.
Oh, it's so good. It's my favorite of Tolkien. I know that sounds pretentious to say, but it's my favorite just because it's just story after story after story. Great stories.
So is there like an actual like through narrative through the whole thing, or is it
Yes.
literally just like an anthology?
It's the history of Arda. So it starts from before the world. Iluvatar creates the Valar, and then they sing the world into existence. Then the gods move into, and it's like fairy tale worlds. So the first third is just stories of the gods because there's no elves, there's no humans, and then they're fighting Melkor, which is Morgoth's original name, and then the elves rise up, and you see the gods interacting with the elves, and then the elves end up, they have it like a schism. I'm trying to condense it, and then the elves, half the elves go back and live in Valinor and some of the elves, the dark elves, meaning they never saw the light of the two trees, they stay in Arda, and they have their own great stories. And then these other elves come back, and then that's when it really gets going. And then men rise up, and then you have the stories with the elves taking care of the humans, the early humans, and then slowly the elves fade out, and we have the rise of man, which is and it's so good. And people don't realize this, but according to Tolkien, we are living in the seventh age. The Lord of the Rings is the third age. So there's the first age. Well, there's the age before ages. Then there's the first age, which is the end of the first age is the destruction of Beleriand. The whole continent is destroyed, and the world is shaped different. And then the second age ends with Morgoth being tossed in. The second age is Sauron being defeated the first time. The third age is Sauron defeated the third time. The fourth age ends with I think Abraham. It's supposed to be Abraham from the Bible.
Okay.
And then the fifth age is, I think the birth of Jesus, and then the sixth age is like, I don't know, the collapse of Rome, something like that. And now we are living in the seventh age. So there we go. I'm sure I'm getting the ages. I'm sure somebody watching this in the future is going to correct me, but I didn't expect to talk about this. I just saw a comment.
Well, I've always seen Tolkien's work as kind of the him crafting a mythology for the British people, and there's always a bit of truth in mythology.
That's exactly what he was doing.
History.
Tolkien. I didn't know about this until I started reading like his letters and stuff. Like when I get into stuff, I get really into it. Just ask my wife. And one of the things in his letters, his purpose of his writing is and I'm sure I'm going to get the real history messed up, is the original indigenous people of England were displaced by the Normans.
Okay.
And what we have now is like the Norman Saxon, and I forget what the original were, and we don't know their myths. They were lost. So Tolkien was making the indigenous myths of England, which is why it's ridiculous to have Asians and blacks in Rings of Power. There are Asians and blacks in Tolkien, but they don't come from Erebor, which is the continent the main landmass of there. They are from Rhûn, which is the east, or Harad, which is the south. They are so far away that their lands are just called the east and the south. And it's funny because the Lord of the Rings is told through survivors of Gondor, so it's their perspective. And Tolkien even shows you, if you read the Silmarillion, that the people from Rhûn, the east people, the Haradids, who are darker, we get like Arabics and then full on black people, they had legit complaints. They weren't, and even the good people, the Númenóreans, the greatest people who ever existed, got tricked by Sauron. So he makes a point that, and that's what Aragorn, that's why he's so brilliant. When he becomes king Elessar, and he goes around and creates peace. He's just like, we would everything is defined. All of our ages is defined by Morgoth, defined by Sauron. He goes, this is the end of that. And he creates peace throughout the world by alliances, friendship, and no war. He's like, you guys got legitimate complaints, but all these people like Tolkien, it's just white supremacy. It's a mythology for the lost people of England who are white. Yeah. There's nothing wrong. Make up your own about whatever you want. Putting your stuff, that's a reflection on you. That just shows me that you don't understand the work. You don't care about the work, and you don't care about the work. These people just want to, I call it leg lifting. They just want to lift their leg and pee all over it. So now it has their scent. because they
I
can't.
always preferred the term skin suit. They want to wear the IP as a skin suit.
All right, now you got me out of the mechanic mode. Good. We shifted gears. I'm just going to go through the comments and we'll start talking about your stuff. So, of course, I have my comic, Heroic Tales. It's on Fund My Comic with Luke Stone, who is your artist, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit too. So, Luke Stone's drawing his comic, and Luke Stone owns the website that I'm selling my comic on. So there we go. Good guy. And this is your website?
Yeah, ietales.com. We're doing a sign up for a newsletter right now. When you go to the website, it's going to ask you for an email address. When you put your email address in, you're going to need to go check your email. Usually it's been going to a spam folder, but there's a link in the email to actually confirm the sign up. You're more creating, it's kind of more like a blog that you're subscribing to. So you are creating an account for the website itself, which later on we'll have like a store on there where you can buy the comics and stuff like that. So setting up now is good.
Check your spam folder. That happens so many times that people don't check their spam folder. Some of these
when we're starting the stream here, we're at 9 members right now, and if we can get to 10, I'm going to be releasing a 6-page preview.
Oh, there you go. Sign up.
So we're one away.
Give me the blessing. I need a blessing today. Whatever you're dealing with the auto mechanic, you need a blessing. Arkham over here, another person who's Luke Stone is also drawing one of my comics, one of my stories, The Sleeper Agent, and Arkham over here is drawing another story of mine, Mythman and Fable, coming from someone that likes reading the Bible. It was amazing, the similarity. Yeah, I like reading the Bible too. I love. I know people get mad when I say it, but like mythology and mythology type stuff. How you doing, Monomachus? Good to see you. How's everybody? Everybody saying hello to each other. Torchbearer Studios. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time. How you doing? I don't remember much, but what's the story of the human and the elf that got captured by Sauron? That's Baron and Luthien. That's the first human and elf coupling, and that created the line of Isildur and Elrond and ultimately Aragorn. Yes, it was. It wasn't the first vampire. Sauron. They actually fought Sauron, and Luthien had this big dog. Oh, why can't I remember the dog's name?
There are vampires in Tolkien?
Yeah, the dog jumped on top of Huarn, the dog. He jumped and got Sauron by the neck, and Sauron shape changed into a vampire, and then he couldn't get away, and then he shape changed into a werewolf. Sauron's original title was Lord of the Vampires.
Really?
Wolves, yeah. And he had a fortress called basically Home of the Werewolves, Home of the Vampires. Okay. But that's different. Tolkien's vampires are just, you take regular bats and you stuff them with evil spirits, and they become engorged, horrible monsters. Not what we could. And werewolves are the same thing. They're just regular wolves that are just stuffed with evil spirits until they become monstrous.
See, I need to go back and read just Lord of the Rings because I haven't read that since high school.
Lord of the Rings is so good. I would recommend starting with The Hobbit. Go right to Lord of the Rings, and then now you got the Children of Húrin, which is a full story. The Fall of Gondolin. They released that as a full story.
I've got like 6 or 7 Tolkien books sitting on my dresser that I need to go through.
Yeah. I think they're finally done because Christopher Tolkien is, he died, I don't know how many years ago. So I think they're finally done. And then the last is you could get the unfinished tales. Okay. One thing that bothers me about that is they'll have earlier drafts, and then people will, like, a couple of these Rings of Power be like, even Tolkien, it's not, his canon isn't solid. It's like, dude, this is just earlier drafts. In some of the earlier drafts, Sauron was a cat. Like the Mekor or something like that, and they changed it. Yeah, that Beren and Luthien would be. It's what Beren, just the story of Beren before he even met Luthien. He was just like he was just like a human that was hunting Sauron's forces, orcs. He was with his band of 25 brothers, and they just went around hunting orcs so bad that Morgoth himself put a personal bounty on him. That's how dangerous he was. That would just be like a great story of like these commandos just going through, and the Negreb forest. It was the forest of horror and spiders. So this evil forest, and Baron's hiding there because nobody would ever think to find him there, killing orcs coming out, and then his troop gets lost and killed, and then he's distraught, and then he sees this elf girl dancing in the woods, and that's Luthien, and he falls in love with her, and that's based on Tolkien. Tolkien, one of his first dates with his wife, they went for a walk in the woods, and she just started dancing in the woods, and it was the happiest. So he made this whole story based on him, and then on his wife's grave it says she's my Luthien, and on his grave it says, I am Baron. So that's, he's very protective of that story. That's why it's never been in a movie or anything like that, because he's just so, he don't want Amazon. It's going to be like a lesbian midget story, when they take care of it. Yeah, and it would be. I would love like a real HBO series of the Silmarillion, like that's actually like true, like Peter Jackson handled it. It would be like a 10-season show, with 20 episodes.
You're saying that's what Amazon has the rights to?
No. Amazon has the rights to the Second Age.
Okay.
And not even all of the Second Age.
Because I know they paid for 5 seasons, so they're getting 5 seasons.
They're getting 5 seasons hook or by crook. But like, I watched the first episode and I'm just like, black elves, there's an Asian woman. So I, in the comments on Twitter, I was just like, oh, what house is she from? And they called me a racist just for asking that question. Like, dude, the only humans in Tolkien, they come from 3 houses. One of the houses has brown hair, one of the houses has black hair, and one of the houses has blondish red hair. And that's how you tell the descendants, stuff like that. The people who are not of those 3 Caucasian races are from Rhûn or Harrenhal. And yes, there is a Granbury Bond. He's like he looks like a indigenous Australian. There's that race that's in the woods too, and they're good guys, so it's not like only the white people are the good guys, but they were completely cut out of the Lord of the Rings movie. But there's a whole race of like tree folk, human tree folk that just, you pass them and they're so good at hiding that you don't even see them, and they had to make treaties with them in order to pass through their lands. Yep.
What was the name of the CGI movie they put out?
I'm sorry? Yep, you got that. There you go.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Hey, Bat Sauce, how you doing? How you doing, Bat Sauce?
They put out a CGI animated movie.
Oh, yeah. They made a Ride of the Rohirrim movie. I didn't see that because they made up a character. That movie, now you're going to get a rant from me. Yeah, the tribe that helped Rohan were basically Neanderthals. Yes, Arkham knows what I'm talking about. They made a movie, and they made up a character called Hera Goldenhelm, and she was one of the. So what it was
that the redhead?
Yeah. It was the Rohirrim. Theoden's people, the horse riders that had Helm's Deep. Helm's Deep was named after Helm Hammerhand. And his story is so great. They're under siege and they're fighting all day. And then at night, the king takes off all of his armor, dresses up like a peasant, and leaves by a secret way and goes into the enemy camps and beats people to death with his fists. And then, just beaten. And that's where he gets the name Hammerhead. And then sneaks back in, sleeps a couple of hours, and then fights all day. And then at night, goes out and beats, and what happened was there was a snowstorm so bad that in the morning they found him frozen to death like this. That is a great no, let's not tell the story about him. Let's make up a character that doesn't exist in Tolkien, his daughter, and how she's the girl boss and leads everybody to victory. Not the man who beat soldiers to death with his fists in the middle of the night because he, it's such a great character. Why? So I never saw that movie. It just bothers me. It's like, let's make a movie about Aragorn's daughter who really saved the day. It's like, what are you doing?
Well, it's like the recent animated Predator movie.
I didn't even know there was one.
Yeah, it's Killer of Killers. It's like a anthology of 4 different stories where the first one is like a bunch of Norsemen, and it's taking place through like different points in history, which is a great idea for a Predator movie. Let's have all these characters, but it's like a Norseman era, and it's following like a female leader of the Norsemen, and there's like a really interesting dynamic with her and her son, and the son's having to like live up to the father's potential and stuff like that, but then it just kind of sidelines to follow her. Yeah, and it just they're coming up with interesting premises and then just doing nothing.
Yeah, I would love to see Predator versus Samurais.
That's in the movie.
Romans, Predator versus that. But the problem is the Predator it's not scary anymore. The Predator got killed by like an Indian girl who's like 14 years old with sticks. So how many
no, he didn't get killed with sticks.
I know.
He got killed with his own targeting system that he knows how it works, should know better than that, and still killed himself.
So at what point can we take the Predator serious anymore? He gets beaten by everybody. So that's why, because in the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, the Predator was a serious threat. These guys were freaking out, and you knew that they were badasses. They were the best of the best of the best. And the Predator, they basically beat the Predator just figuring him out. It was, after everybody's dead. And now everybody's beating the Predator. Like, I don't know, in these animated cartoons, does the Predator win a couple of the fights?
No, he loses in every single one. So what they're doing is they have it's a Norseman, a samurai, a World War I pilot, and then I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, but basically it's revealed that when you beat a Predator, they come back and collect you.
Okay.
And so you get then taken to, and I think it's supposed to be like a different clan doing this, but they collect you, bring you to this war planet where you then are in like a gladiatory arena fighting for their amusement. And the biggest kick in the balls is at the very end for the like post-credit scene is it's revealed that they've collected the Indian girl, they've collected Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they've collected what's his name from Predator 2.
Oh, okay. So they have like secret wars.
Yeah.
Now, are there other aliens? Because humans can't be the only species that beat Predator. Like, there should be like octopus.
You would think.
Yeah.
It's nothing but humans.
Maybe they just like humans. I don't know.
Even in like the cryogenic freezing chamber, it's like it looks like it's all humans in there.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of nope out on so much stuff. People are so surprised that I haven't watched like that many new movies or anything.
I don't blame you. There's nothing coming out.
I just want to say hello to Dr. Mask. He has a crowdfund on Fund My Comic. Hail Arise, Riders of Rohan. There you go. Predator is a comic character now. Okay.
It's been a comic book forever.
Dave Brink is here. Dave Brink has a Perfect 10 collection on Fund My Comic and Safeguard on Fund My Comic. One of my favorite superhero stories going on. Oh, it's Danny Glover there. He beat a Predator.
Danny Glover, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you not seen Predator 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
that came out in like the 90s. I'm talking about like the past 5-6 years. I haven't really watched too many new movies. I'm just constantly disappointed by them, so I gave up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the recent one, Badlands, is just, it feels like a Marvel movie.
For a while I was like that battered ex-girlfriend. It'll be better next time. So so now I adopt like a wait and see. Like, I don't watch any movies now until like I hear good reviews from other people. I don't watch any new TV series until it's over because I'm real tired of getting 3 seasons into a show and then the lecture season where you're watching Supergirl and you're like, oh wow, he's fighting, and then season 3 it's just like lesbians. It's like, okay, what does that have to do with Supergirl?
The line from Supergirl that always stands out to me is Brainiac, I think it's Brainiac 5, complaining about how microaggressions are a form of trauma.
He's so right. He's so right.
So right.
Yeah. I see myself in that. You know.
Yeah. When I picture Brainiac 5, that's the kind of stuff I imagine him talking about.
Yeah, an intergalactic conqueror is afraid of microaggressions. Yeah, there you go. And now
this is the good one that's in the Legion of Superheroes in the future.
Brainiac 5.
Yeah.
And now I'm seeing that Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Dr. Doom, but Dr. Doom doesn't hate Reed Richards. He hates Steve Rogers. I'm like, at what point is it?
What?
Yeah, in the Doomsday, he's gonna.
I knew he was playing Doom, but he hates Steve and not.
He hates Steve Rogers. So
why?
Because their names. Because the Fantastic Four movie wasn't well received, and nobody likes Pedro Pascal, so they can't base anything on Pedro Pascal. So this is and that's another thing. Like Fantastic Four is my favorite, and I'm like, okay, this movie at least it looked good, even though all four members were completely miscast. At least that retro future look looked good, But it's like like I said, I'm a battered girlfriend. I'm like, he's nice to me sometimes. Like the Fantastic Four movie looked good. Yeah, I'm just trying to get something good for the Fantastic Four.
It was okay. It wasn't like the rest of the MCU movies where it was just this awful. Like Brave New World was atrocious, but as far as like their batting average for it, it was okay.
I mean, the four actors were just awful. All four of them were miscast. Then they added this Natasha Lyonne, who's just unpleasant to look at. Why? She offered nothing. You could have deleted. They spent like 20 minutes developing this character to go nowhere, and it wasn't Alicia.
Which character?
The redhead that Ben Grimm liked, who opened up.
I completely forgot she was even in the movie. Right.
So why was she in the movie? She offered nothing. She wasn't Alicia.
Oh my gosh.
I know I catch hell whenever I say it. Well, nobody liked Pedro Pascal. The thing, all you had to do was get a good voice, and he had a bad voice. The actor who played Johnny Storm he was great in Stranger Things, and he had no charisma in that movie. Nothing. Mm-hmm. He might as well have just been a wooden cardboard cutout. And then the woman who played Sue Storm, there's something about her. She looks like a monster. She looks like a creature wearing human flesh. Like she's attractive looking in the fact that like I'm gonna make a demon attractive. Like she didn't look motherly. Like the Invisible Woman is supposed to be motherly, like she's the mother of she's the mother of Marvel, but she's beautiful. She's supposed to be like a hot soccer mom. Like I think the woman who played Lagartha in Vikings should have been Sue Storm.
I don't see. I know Sue is supposed to be attractive, but using the word hot to describe her is like weird for me because I always see Sue as like the mom. Right. It's like I'm not going to use the word hot to describe my mom.
She's supposed to be the ultimate MILF.
Is she?
Yeah.
I've never gotten that, like, I don't know. I've never wanted to bang Sue Storm. It was always just more like a good old mom.
Well, to be honest, for 90% of her time, she had an unpleasant personality. The Jack Kirby Stan Lee, she was just the human hostage. That's really all she was. And then in the 70s, she was the bitchy wife. That was just complaining. She was really unpleasant. I'm not joking. The Roy Thomas years. And then they didn't make her likable until John Byrne.
Yeah.
But he started to make her a little bit unbearable. The only time, believe it or not, was Tom DeFalco. She was good. Walt Simonson, she was good. And then she's just like written by people that don't like their parents. So Reed Richards is like a domineering jerk. And she's just like, I don't know what the women who hate their mothers. So she's hard to like as a character, to be honest.
They made her atrocious in the Ultimate Universe.
Oh, really?
The original Ultimate Universe. The Reed literally turns evil. He becomes the Maker because she breaks up with him. And the line that she used during the breakup is that she needs more a man in every port.
There you go.
Which I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Yeah, that's very Freudian. I don't like Pedro Pascal. Talk about a guy anti-charisma. He's just anti-charisma is the only way to describe him. I'm not watching Doomsday. The Fantastic Four will Galactus look like a tired old man. Yeah, I got to say, now that I got some distance, I appreciated that they had this big Jack Kirby guy marching around, stuff like that. But yeah, the actor did look like Punchy. You know.
I've always kind of imagined Galactus to be tired, though.
Yeah, like almost like I that's one of the things I would love to write is like Galactus, the ultimate Galactus story. Like to me, like I did like 2 or 3 videos on that trial of Reed Richards, where Reed Richards saved Galactus and then Empress Leandra put him on trial, and they basically said, he's a test. He's a test. He's not evil. He's a test. It's like, dude, he's evil. Galactus is evil. He eats planets. You know what I mean? And it's all about perspective. Right now, if a cow was to achieve sentience, we would be evil to the cows. You know what I mean? And I got no problem. We raise them in captivity and we eat them. Galactus goes around the galaxy and he eats intelligent life. He's evil. And they're like, he's a test. He's a test. Well, Reed Richards passed the test. He defeated Galactus and then saved his life. Then there's no purpose of him. Like, it's like saying, smallpox was a test. Well, like Odin comes out and says the seas were a test for the Vikings. But we all agree that we need to do something about storms. There's storms. Okay, we're gonna let the other people now drown. No, we saved the other people. We helped. We tried to stop storms. We tried to stop diseases. Galactus, we passed the test. We defeated him. Now we can take care. So if they're trying to say, because then the Watcher showed up and Eternity came up and said, so to me, in order to make that valid, is there has to be something that Galactus does that we don't know about. So if I was to write a Galactus story, we would find out that like Cthulhu and Azathoth and Yog-Sothoth, that these things are real, and Galactus keeps them. He's constantly battling these things, and we don't know about it. And the more he fights them, he's depleted, and then unfortunately he's got to eat a planet, and that's the price that we pay.
So post 2015 Secret Wars, it's revealed that the Marvel Universe has been rebooted 8 times.
Yeah, I know.
And Galactus has been a survivor through all of it, as far if I'm remembering correctly. And there is that, I can't remember what it is, but there is a secret function that Galactus does.
They're watching my channel. Good.
No, I've just been reading the comics.
No, I'm saying Marvel's watching my channel.
Marvel has been. Okay.
So I didn't know that. I want to read up on that now.
I think it's
how I deal with all the doctrine stuff.
Ultimates.
I unfortunately, I guess I don't know what you're talking about.
Docs.
But I got to be the easiest guy in the world to dox. And come on down. You want to come on down? Come on down. My wife hates when I say that, but I don't play games. There you go, Dr. Mask. I'm just trying to get through all. Everybody's talking to each other. Saying I want it to be good is how many times they smack us. Yeah, I know. I agree. So I know about the final straw was Game of Thrones for me. I watched it my wife and I, we had dinner, watched Game of Thrones every Sunday night. And then the last season, it was like a screw you. So I'm like, I'm done. Because I did this with Lost. My wife and I had dinner. We watched Lost every week. And that show ended so bad. I'm like, you know what? So I didn't watch Breaking Bad until it was over and everybody said it ended well. And then I watched.
Well, you didn't like that everybody was dead the whole time?
It was kind of easy to figure out, but it's still they didn't pull it together.
I'm joking. It was
yeah, it was purgatory. Galactus should have looked like a long, powerful man. The comics before the wool crap, he was always strong and powerful. Yeah, I agree. John, I don't think they will ever get the Fantastic Four right. It's too tricky to do it right. The problem with the Fantastic Four is nobody in Hollywood, nobody in Marvel likes the nuclear family anymore.
They got Fantastic Four right once, and it was directed by Roger Corman and was never released. I don't know
Isn't
if
it
you've seen
ironic
that or not.
that the
but-
movie made never to be released was the best depiction of the Fantastic Four?
Yeah,
Imagine if he had a good budget.
I love that movie so much.
I enjoy the older comics. You can keep. I know it will be, but yeah, I'm reading older and older comics. Like right now, I'm filling in the gaps in my Mr. X collection. You know, and I'm enjoying. I'm loving comics as much as I've ever loved comics before. Boardwalk Empire. That's a show everybody talked about, and then I never heard about it. Like I never watched The Sopranos. I'm kind of tired of gangster stuff. I don't think the FF is difficult to do right. It's simple combat. Yeah, I agree with Dave Brink. The Fantastic Four is easy. They're a family. They bicker. They pull together, and they explore, and they love each other. They're a family at the core. Now they expanded into like cousins and stuff. If you want to say like the whatever the foundation, the Fantastic.
I always thought the best Fantastic Four, like if you were going to adapt something to make a Fantastic Four movie, take the first issue of Mark Waid's run.
Mark Waid did a good run on Fantastic Four.
He did. That first issue, though, is somebody from like Toy Biz or something like that trying to secure the rights to Fantastic Four. They send a guy in to be with the family, and it's just like a week in the life of the Fantastic Four. And it's just all the stuff they have to deal with within a week. It boils every single character down perfectly. You get this really emotional scene with Reed at the end talking about how he feels guilty about what he's done to the family. It is a fantastic issue, and there's your movie right there.
Yeah, I as much as Mark Waid gets on my nerves, he did a good. He's a good writer. He did a lot of good comics.
Mm-hmm.
He did a really good Fantastic Four run. I forgot about that. He did a good Sue Storm. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. He did that issue Unforgivable or with Doctor Doom. I don't want to spoil it, but it's the single greatest issue of Doctor Doom when he makes his new armor.
Vaguely remember it. It's been a while since I've read it.
He goes and gets one of his ex-girlfriends and seduces her.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it, but I was just like, oh my God. And then they quickly forgot about it. That was one of the greatest developments in Doctor Doom's history, and then they completely forgot about it.
It's not always how it is that somebody comes in, reinvents everything perfectly, and then just is like,
that comic was so good. I actually bought a couple of copies to give to friends, and they were like, "Oh my God!"
Mm-hmm.
I think it's called Unbelievable or Unforgivable or something like that. A single issue about Doctor Doom, and anybody in the chat knows exactly what I'm talking about. The FF is the opposite of the woke crap, strong, powerful male who's a scientist. Right. Reed Richards is supposed to be cool. He was the cool guy. Back in the 60s, 1962, being a scientist meant you were like Indiana Jones. They were, it wasn't these nerdy guys that developed later on, but being a scientist was like being like a Chuck Yeager or something like that. You were a man's man, and Reed Richards was cool. He had swag. He was arrogant. He was Indiana Jones. And then next thing you know, he could stretch. Full Metal Alchemist is a great beginning. Yes, I a friend of mine made me watch that, and I agree. I love Full Metal Alchemist. You ever check out Irredeemable? Yes. Is that the name of the Fantastic Four? Oh yeah, that's
no. That's his Evil Superman.
Yeah. I didn't read it because I'm just so tired of Evil Superman.
It has one of the most self-indulgent endings I've ever read in any comic.
Yeah, I'm tired of the evil Superman trope.
Well, you care if I spoil the ending?
Go ahead.
So basically, the whole idea is that this evil Superman is his parents are. I'm probably going to get some details wrong here and there, but basically, he is the child of gods, of these like interdimensional gods that brought their child down to Earth. and he has these reality warping powers and stuff like that. And he realizes that he's wrong, realizes that he's been evil this whole time. And so he says, I'm going to do something good, basically. And he reimagines himself as an idea. And he implants that idea into Siegel and Schuster, who then creates Superman out of that idea. So you have Mark Waid, this giant, and I like Mark Waid's writing, but this is so self-indulgent to do, to take your character and be, yes, this was the concept for Superman. You're muted, sir.
I muted because I didn't want anybody to hear me chewing, and then I forgot.
No, you're good.
I think it's kind of a clever idea, but I wouldn't do it.
No.
But that's I find like when my character is so important, my character, like as much as I like what's his name? I can't think of the guy's Kevin Garreau. He made a Blue Marvel for Marvel Comics, and I hate this character. I hate this character. No, not because I'm racist or anything like that. It's because Marvel, they made a Superman character, and he's like 400 years old. He lived to, and he's talking about the evils of slavery and stuff, but he didn't do anything about it. He just sat there on the farm, like out in Wisconsin someplace, minding his own business. Meanwhile, he could have, and then it's one thing to be like, well, I'm Superman and I don't want to get involved in politics. People need to fix this stuff out. But he's just like, this is wrong. This is bad. This is wrong. This is bad. And then sits there because the government says, oh, we don't want a powerful black man. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna, and now the time's caught up. Okay, you want to make him 400 years old? Give us a story. He fought Galactus and he got so damaged. He saved the Earth 400 years ago before we knew about Galactus, and now it's taken him 400 years to recover. Okay, I'll buy that. Or just introduce him now. But now we're supposed to believe that he's the best, greatest Marvel character because you said so. You got to earn that. There's a little bit of meta in comic books. I'm like, okay, so now I made a character called the Patriarch. I can't claim that he's the greatest character, stuff like that. But 70 years down the road, if everybody's wearing Patriarch t-shirts and stuff like that, that meta, that real world success converts to the character. Like my character, I can't compare him to Spider-Man. I haven't earned the right. You know what I mean? So all of a sudden to jump in front of Spider-Man or Superman or the Fantastic Four or Thor, or even Nightcrawler, because he's black and we need to fill a perceived political void. Make a black character, make him the most powerful Marvel comic character, but to retroactively say he was the best. Like at first I didn't like the Sentry. I was like, he was the best, he was the greatest. But once I read that Paul Jenkins story, that 60, and I realized the whole psychological game that they put, I thought he was brilliant. I think the Sentry,
I was just about to ask you about that character.
I think the Sentry was Marvel's last brilliant character because there's a legitimate, did he just get his powers and then his powers are so vast that he's messing with everybody's minds and he's retroactively setting himself? That's what I think. He's just crazy. And his fantasies are now rewriting other people's memories. You know what I mean? And like when Reed Richards is not around him, he's not thinking, but then all of a sudden he shows up and it activates the Sentry's powers are forcing Reed Richards. Oh yeah, you were my best man and stuff like that. And then sooner or later, you'd be like, this guy's a menace. And then you turn out that he's schizophrenic and he's his own worst enemy. I thought the Sentry was great. And I like the fact that he's super powerful because he has a built-in weakness. What's the weakness of the Blue Marvel? The government told me to not do anything. I recognize the government is evil and oppressive and slave, and they told me not to do anything. So, you made your character pathetic.
The way they marketed the Sentry was really cool too, having it be like a lost character that was created, getting Wizard Magazine in on it to sell it. And
Stan Lee was like, he was in on it. And a lot of people got mad. And I was like, I'm a suspicious person by nature. So I was like, what's going on? I don't buy this. I don't buy this. But once I read the story, I thought everything about it was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant. I didn't see the movie, the Thunderbolts movie yet.
Yeah. I thought it was okay. It really relies on the fact that all of the characters have been in very bad TV shows or movies but they were your favorite character in that thing. So like you have John Walker, who was in Falcon and Winter Soldier, which was just awful, but he was the most likable character in it. So it's really there is like a meta through line there where it's like all these underdogs that should have had better spotlights, should have been in better things, get to have their own thing.
Yep. Marvel MCU ended with the last good Marvel movie for me was Infinity War. The beginning of the end, I didn't like Endgame.
I didn't like Endgame either.
I didn't like
Infinity War is great.
Anything after Endgame, no. Yeah, we're told Captain Marvel's the best. You got to earn that. You got to earn that. You know.
Which they keep doing this thing where they're taking characters that never wanted the mantle. You have Falcon, never wanted to be Captain America. You have Miss Marvel, never wanted to be Captain Marvel. You have X-23, never wanted to be Wolverine. And then they're just making them, and they're not explaining why. They're just, okay, well, Wolverine's not here. We need a Wolverine. Let's get the clone like the whole point of X-23 was, I'm not Logan. Right. I'm not Wolverine.
The only one, I don't mind Carol Danvers becoming Captain Marvel. I've said this because she was there in 1968. You know, the character was in the comics, and she's indirectly responsible for you know, Captain Marvel in the comics. She was assigned to him. She was there at the beginning. She was one of the reasons why he was a Kree bad guy who turned into a good guy and stuff. So she earned the right. You know, she became Miss Marvel for 30 years, and then they got rid of Captain Marvel, and Marvel has to keep the name Captain Marvel. So I don't mind that she gets promoted and then they turn somebody else, but they made her horrible. Mm-hmm. Her personality, like her when they first started calling, she was Miss Marvel, and then they started calling her Kelly Sue DeConnick, started writing her over, and she ignored her backstory, she ignored her history. You know, they ignored everything, and they made her just like, your idea of a powerful woman is just grating, annoying. You know,
she made it so that she gets forgets that she was even raped, which is just like really offensive from a feminist perspective, in my opinion, because it's like that should be something that's very traumatic. That should be something that she needs to get over. That should be something that makes her a better character because she's able to overcome this. And instead of no, I don't remember it.
Avengers 200 is one of the creepiest stories ever. That, and I'm not politically correct in the slightest, and even that comic makes me. I remember as a kid going, I don't know about this. I'll be getting to it someday in my Avengers Assemble series. I just realized we only got 10 minutes left because I have to leave in 10 minutes to go to work. Oh. We didn't even talk about your comic yet, so let's talk about your comic.
Okay, I sent you some stuff to show, didn't I?
Do you want to? Where is it?
Would have been in the group chat on X.
Okay.
Yeah, the Dropbox link.
Okay, you want to send it again? Well,
I can.
Yeah, send it again.
Should I send it in the?
Put it in the private chat. Put it in the private chat because I don't think you can't put any links in the public chat. There we go. What do you want to check? It says characters pages. What do you want to check out?
Let's do the characters first.
Okay.
So my comic is called Pawn. It is a horror series. I was kind of having trouble explaining it, and I was on Per Berg Street, Narwhal, and he kind of sold it very well as a what if Doctor Strange was the dude from The Big Lebowski?
Oh, okay.
And so if you these are a little bit out of order. If you go over to the Big Lebowski looking guy.
Okay.
Second one there.
Okay.
So this is the Midnight Mystic. He is our protagonist. He is like Doctor Strange, sort of, but he's the whole comic is about a series of guys who don't really have their lives in order. So something's happened to the Midnight Mystic, and he is really leaning into drugs and alcohol to cope with it, and it's kind of screwing up everybody's lives. So instead of having a Sanctum Sanctorum, he has a pawn shop where all the stuff from his adventures goes into this pawn shop, and there's like enchantments on them. So if somebody walks into the store, they can just buy something. It'll turn into a normal object, and they're able to walk out with it. But in case he needs something from his previous adventures, he's still able to go into the pawn shop, grab something, and leave with it to go save the universe. Problem is he hasn't been really keeping up with it. Some stuff happens, an enchanted item gets out, all hell breaks loose. And so his coworkers, his friends, the fat guy, if you want to go to that one.
Sure. The first guy I just showed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Ernie. He has a very dark history, does something very, very dark at the beginning of the story, and that's kind of more of the catalyst that sets the chain of events off. We'll learn more about him right away, and then as the story goes, obviously. If you go back to the very last one, this is Jim Van Helsing. As you may know, the Van Helsing was introduced in the novel Dracula. He is part of that bloodline. They are a bloodline of monster hunters. But as you can see, he doesn't really look like a monster hunter type.
Yeah, he looks like a scared ghost hunter.
There you go. He does kind of look like the guy from, was that the real Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it now. I hadn't even thought of that. But for whatever reason, he's just not doing monster hunting, and there might be some repercussions from that. And then,
now, are you the writer or are you the artist?
I am the artist. Everything we're looking at right now is by Luke Stone. I had absolutely no idea who he was when I hired him. I just went on to X one day, saw art that I liked, sent him a DM like, "Hey, I've got this comic. Want to work on it?" And as he originally, this started as like a 10-page story I wrote 10 years ago, and I was going to put a bunch of short stories together in a comic called Chopping Block. I was going to release that, have people vote on whatever they thought was the best. And whatever the best was, it was going to turn into a series. I ended up having a concussion. I got hit by a car, and there was a lot of problems that came from that, and I kind of just fell off. And then one day, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna try making a comic again. About 10 years later, and I started getting the pages from him. My mind just started.
I hired Luke Stone to draw one of my comics, and I got into a car accident. So I don't know.
There you go.
Fate, you decide.
Yeah. But I started getting pages from him, and I was like, this is great. This is fantastic. My brain just started whirring into a story. And if you go to the bald guy, this is Detective Plowski. He is whatever dark event happens at the beginning, he is instantly on top of it, and he and Midnight Mystic have some kind of relationship. Obviously, as you read it more, that'll be revealed.
If you don't
exactly.
Yeah, it's like the deer population. Next thing you know, we're all crashing into deers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Detective Plowski's history is going to be revealed, and he's kind of getting in on it. This is the Midnight Mystic's costume. He hasn't worn this in quite a while, and why that is going to be revealed later. And then lastly, we have David. I keep wanting to call him Kevin because for whatever reason, when I started writing the script for issue 3, I just started calling him Kevin out of nowhere.
He looks like a Kevin.
I guess, yeah, a little bit. And so this is David, who whatever dark thing that Ernie does has deeply, deeply affected this man, and he is not happy about it. So he is our antagonist.
So what are you making? A comic, a series, a graphic novel?
I'm making a comic book. My goal is I have 25 issues plotted, so it's 4 arcs, and the goal is to have an issue released every other month.
Wow.
Where Luke is in the middle of working on issue number 3. Issue number 1 is in the bag. Issue number 2 is with the letterer right now. I would like to get it to 25 issues, which is 24 issues plus an annual. Whether or not that happens, we'll see. I'm confident though. I'm feeling good about this.
Luke is
so what we're looking at now is the first page of issue number 1. Well, I guess it's technically page 11. Originally, we had a 10-page issue 0 that was going to be released first, but I realized it kind of reads better if we have all of it together. So this is an unlettered issue, page 11. It's a flashback to Ernie driving home. You see his family there and the picture on his mirror.
Yeah, I'm close. One of my big things is the storytelling, like the ability for the art to convey the information. Yeah, I mean, you can figure out what's going on. Good job. Now, do you give him a full script, or you just let him, you give him like Marvel style, just a couple of tips? And
I have a full script, and I don't have like panel positions or anything like that. So I just have panel 1, panel 2, panel 3, panel 4, and he figures out the flow, and he's been really, really good. He's
really good. He put up with me. I had a real complicated. It's weird because it's 2 pages, but it's also a 2-page spread because it's one image behind everything and then panels on top of everything. And the fact that he didn't rage quit after how many times I was like, no, it needs to, like, I drew it in stick figures a few times, and he's like, it's all good. He's like the coolest, calmest guy. And he's so quick. He could probably do a monthly comic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I mean, he's drawing yours, he's drawing mine, and I think he's doing somebody else's at the same time.
Sometimes he sends me the wrong pages, and I've been seeing some stuff that he's been doing on other comics.
Oh, so you probably know. Yeah, so you know my story. Don't tell anybody then. But he's and he's running Fund My Comic, and he's a pastor. I think he
started his own church.
I wish I had the energy. So this is not live yet. When are you going to go live?
June.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Another page.
So Ernie gets home. He's got his groceries there. It's a normal day for him. Doors open, blood trail. Not something you really want to go home to.
Yeah, you don't want that. Yeah. Yes. So what would you call this? Like is paranormal comedy, paranormal horror?
Yeah, that could go for it. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So it's not superhero stuff. It's more.
No.
More, okay.
I didn't realize it until I was watching the movie again, and I admittedly have not read any of the comic books, so I'm probably going to get flack for this. But I was watching the Keanu Reeves Constantine movie.
Okay.
And I realized how big of an influence on Pawn that is.
Yeah, I love that movie. Unfortunately, it's called Constantine. Totally miscast, but it's still a good movie. I like that movie. I'd like to see a sequel to it, but if it was called like Phil Moskowitz, Devil Hunter, we would all, all the comic book, because it's, Constantine is British, not but whatever. It's a good movie. I like it. I like the
guy that played him in the what was that CBS show?
Yeah, I never watched it. I was always like, I'm gonna watch this. Oh, it's over. It's not on anymore. But
he
got canceled. Exactly like the comic.
He's good. I liked that show.
Yeah, I like the original 300 issue Hellblazer series. I don't like this new reimagined bisexual John Constantine. Because everybody's bisexual now. Doesn't matter what the creators of a comic book made for you.
Ladies Man, Iceman suddenly isn't. Ladies Man.
Yeah, don't get me started on Iceman. All right, so I'm sorry. I know we talked so much about Marvel, and you come back if you want to talk more about the comic, but I gotta leave for work.
No, you're good. I did have a question for you.
Sure.
When are you going to get back to doing TMNT?
What?
You were doing your little comic read stuff. You were doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You stopped at like issue number 3.
Oh, because I got to read issue number 4. It's right here.
Oh, yeah. Did you get the Raphael issue?
Yes. Yes. The one that introduced what's his name? Casey Jones.
Yeah.
Yes, that was the last Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic I read.
Okay, I think that takes place before issue number 4.
Yes, so I'm trying to read them chronologically. That's the way I am. I'm a nut job. So I read 1, 2, the Raphael, or no, 1, 2, 3 Raphael, and I got number 4 over here. The reason why I'm putting off reading number 4, because then I gotta get number 5, and they're kind of expensive. So
Oh, you're buying the single issues?
yeah, I'm buying the actual issues. Yeah,
You're insane.
Yeah. So I mean, I got the 6th printing, or no, I got the 5th printing of issue number 1, because that's
Okay.
what I can afford. But I got the first printings of 2, 3 Raphael.
Wow.
So I'm trying to get, they're coming down in price now. Once you get, because now by issue 4, I think they were a big hit, so they were printing a lot of them. They're not that expensive.
Okay.
My heart hurts every time I think about this. But the guy who I was working in a comic book store when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out, and he's like, you should get this. This is going to be a big deal. And I had issue number 1 in my hands. And I looked at it and I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, I was like, they're making fun of Frank Miller. They're making fun of the X-Men. They're making, who are these people to think that they can shit all over these classic? And I put it down in disgust. And
that's the thing. It's like a love letter to Frank Miller.
I know. I didn't know. And I literally, like, if anybody talked about the Teenage Mutant, like, I would like change the subject. Like, I was infuriated by them for years. And then after a while, I realized I was wrong, but I wasn't. That ship has sailed, kind of thing. Yeah. And then Tonic Ball is like, you got to read it. It's good. So I was like, all right. So
it's so good.
Yeah.
Especially I just finished some of the Rick Veitch issues, and those are just phenomenal.
I didn't know he did. I love Rick Veitch.
Oh, they're so good.
I didn't know that. But I got to admit, they're really good. Number 1, I mean, the art is what it is.
It gets better.
It gets better, but it was really good. It was really good. The only issue I didn't like, I think it was issue 3. There was just like a car chase driving around.
Yeah.
I was like, this whole issue was filler. Like they had like half an issue and filled it with filler. But so what? That's 1 out of really 4 issues, because the Raphael one was good.
The Leonardo one-shot is one of the best comics I've ever read in my life.
So yeah, so I gotta read them, and then I check the ads to see that's what to buy next. But if I buy 4, then I gotta order 5, and I'm just trying to limit myself. So I buy 1 at a time. So usually 1 a month or something like that, once every 2 months. But I haven't put in an order for back issues in like 3 months.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So. Because
it was good talking to you. Nice meeting you.
Huge stack. Yeah, come back. I feel like I short shifted you on time to talk about your comic.
You're fine, man. I kept pressing you about Lord of the Rings. So
yeah. But seriously, come back. Like, if you want to come back next week and continue talking about your comic, I feel like I gave you not enough time. But I really got to go. All right.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Have a good one, man.
See you guys. Bye, kids.
Goodbye, kids.
Well, I thought I hit the button. Goodbye.